Identity Under Construction. Episode 3, Coming Out as a Lesbian. Deep down, I was always attracted to women. But growing up in the 80s and 90s didn't leave a lot of room for that kind of truth to breathe. There wasn't language everywhere for it. There wasn't safety built into it. So I adapted in the ways I knew how. I grew up a tomboy. Sports were my language before I had words for anything else. My hair was almost always pulled up, bun tight, practical, out of the way. The bun of fun. The kind of look that made life easier. Visor or ball cap whenever I could get away with it. Jeans, t-shirts, gym shorts, cargo pants. Function over everything. Movement over presentation. I lived in a body that stayed ready to go, not one that asked to be seen in a particular way. But underneath all of that, there was a pattern I didn't name yet. I was attracted to my female friends. A lot of them. Quietly. Internally. Never spoken out loud. Never tested in the open air where it could be confirmed or rejected. It stayed contained, something I carried privately, like a thought I wasn't supposed to finish. So I didn't. I kept going. Kept blending in. Kept living in a way that didn't disrupt anything on the surface. And then college happened. Freshman year. A shift in the world just by being somewhere different. That's where I met her, a girl who was openly lesbian. Not hidden. Not coded. Just real in a way I didn't know how to be yet. She became my best friend. And something in me cracked open around her. Not in a dramatic explosion, but in recognition. Like seeing a version of a life I didn't know I was allowed to want. I fell in love with her. And that was the moment I broke out of my shell and out of the closet. But she didn't feel the same way. And still, something had already changed. It wasn't about one person returning the feeling. It was about the fact that I could feel it at all, fully, without disappearing inside it. After that, things became clearer in hindsight. I started realizing a lot of my high school friends had ended up identifying as lesbians too. It made the world feel less isolated, less like I was the only one decoding something in silence. And I began living as a lesbian. That became my life. My identity. My normal. For years. Decades, even, moving through relationships, attachment, heartbreak, and connection like any other life lived in truth, just finally named. I lived that truth all the way until I was 44. And then I transitioned again, this time into becoming a transgender man. But before that shift, before everything changed again, I had already lived a full life as a lesbian. I had relationships. I was even engaged to a woman while still being seen as a woman myself. It wasn't confusion. It wasn't a phase. It was a real chapter of my life. A real identity I lived inside of before the next construction began.